Hello, lovelies. I am here today with Christy Kovel, who is a friend of mine from college, and she has quite a journey to share with us today. Christy and I have mostly kept up through Facebook since college because I actually haven't been back for a reunion. She has, but I always enjoyed seeing all of the pictures of she and her wonderful husband, Tracy, over the years. So I felt like that I knew them intimately just through wonderful Facebook. But Christy actually has been through, quite a time. Tracy passed away several years ago. And I have watched her as she has grieved and as well as she has blossomed and continued her journey in a very positive way. So we're here to talk to Christy today. Welcome. Christy, tell us a little bit about your journey with Tracy.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for having me on. I'm so honored to be here today.
We're so happy to have
Sharing.
you.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So I met Tracy actually right after college, and we connected and got married, a couple years after we graduated, and we had this wonderful life. We were married 20 years. We didn't have children by choice. We focused a lot on our careers and our travel and our families. And about 10 years into our marriage, he was diagnosed with a very rare form of cancer, testicular cancer. And for a number of years, it was just monitoring after a surgery. And about 5 years later, it came back. And so I, became his caregiver as we walked a very familiar journey to so many people, with, different types of treatments and some travel mixed in and just, living in the moment. And he passed away 4.5 years ago. So I became a widow, at age 46, which is really not, the typical course of action. We had been married 20 years, been together for 25 years, and suddenly I found myself in this sort of new situation, which was very unfamiliar, not only to me, but to my peers around me who were trying to support me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you all were young, both of you. And I just remember Tracy was a runner. He did a lot of marathons and 10Ks and things like that. And you all just seemed like you had such an active lifestyle and really just a passion for life and experiencing things. So what, tell us a little bit about the after, like because I can't imagine. I mean, not only did you lose your partner in life, but your entire lifestyle changed. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, and it did, I feel like acknowledging that is kind of the first step of being a person who comforts somebody who has lost that. And for me, I was very, very fortunate in that I had always fostered my relationships with my female friends and my community up here. So while we had a very active lifestyle and we traveled and we really did live life, I wanted to continue that, even while he wasn't here with me anymore. So I made the decision very early on to be very public on social media. And I know you saw that, and so many others did too, because I felt that there's a real stigma, in this country around death. We're kind of a grief illiterate society. We don't talk about death, even though all of us are going to experience it. And I wanted to, have it be okay to talk about it. And so people, even if they were coming up to me and they say, Christy, I don't know what to say to you, I'm just so sorry. That's okay. That's okay. So I made the decision to be really public on social media, public with some media outlets up here around what it's like to be a young widow. And when I was looking for supports myself,
Mhm.
And I went to a support group here. While it was comforting in some senses, the people were not in my age group. And so it was a really different type of experience. So I worked with my local hospital to start a support group for younger widows, because it's very different, right? I
Mhm.
wanted to sit around with people and kind of talk about the after. I have a lot of life left, you know,
Yes.
and I'm still active and working, and I want to travel, and I wanted someone to talk to me about what dating would look like if I wanted to do that again. And what I was finding in the traditional support groups was that people were having that experience of the loss of their partner, and they were just deciding to not be open to additional experiences. It was sort of like that was it. And I didn't want, I knew this wasn't just it, right?
Right. Right. Of course. So what do you, I mean, that's such an inspiration, Christy, and you have been inspirational just through this whole journey as I've followed you. What are some of the tips and the tools that you really grasped while you were going through this, and just that you still use probably today at some points?
I think for me, I think self-awareness, and self-care are absolutely critical. And that's for any situation, right? I mean,
Mhm.
we all are going to experience life transitions if we're raising children and they go off to college, or, divorce, or loss of a parent or a family member. So, or a job. I mean, we're all going to experience hard transitions. And I think self-care and self-awareness are absolutely the most critical things. So for me, I had been practicing yoga and had gotten away from it, because when I was taking care of Tracy, I just didn't have the time. So, I really focused a lot on my own personal practice. I now have a meditation practice that I do weekly here with a group of people, and my own. And I really try to take care of myself as the top priority, because if I'm not taking care of myself, then I'm not going to be any help to others around. I also found that sleep is absolutely vital. Decent diet, and I'll say decent because it's not always the best, and just general, reaching out to people when you need support
Right.
and help, and just be authentic.
Right.
No shame in reaching out to your friends, like, what, I'm just not coping today. And this is an up and down journey. It just is. um,
Right.
I didn't want to sugarcoat that either, because I think the lessons I've learned in the 4.5 years since Tracy has been gone have helped other people. I think social media has been wonderful. I have connected with so many other people that I didn't know, or I have friends on social media that have been like, oh, you know what? I have this person in my community. She just lost her husband. Can I share your contact information? So, to have a virtual chat with someone or a phone call with someone, it's a lifeline.
Yeah, I mean, yes, and that is just so amazing, and you're so right. There, all of us are going through things, and those are really tools, as you said, that all of us can use. And so tell me, I'm popping this one at you, although we did talk about it a little bit. So tell me a little bit about today. You're dating someone, right?
I
Yeah.
am. I am. I started dating. It's been sort of fits and starts with dating, right? I tried a year after Tracy died, and I realized I just wasn't ready. And dating apps are their own sort of quirky thing. So I started dating a couple of years ago, seriously. Just with intention. And I've been dating somebody now for almost a year, and it's nice.
Mhm.
It's interesting to do that at this phase of life.
Okay.
It's interesting to sort of come at dating, having had a long, loving marriage. But I
Right.
also know that I'm open to the possibility of whatever is going to show up next for me, whether it's job, dating, um, relationships, travel. It's kind of the new phase, and it's interesting to see my friends who are, many of them have children that are older and they're leaving the nest, and they want to travel and they want to have experiences, and so we may not be sharing the same similar journey, but we have similar experience with transition and hard things, and how did you get through that. And it's just the whole process has been really reflective, hard, strength building, resilience, all of it.
Yeah, gosh. Well, Christy, thank you for sharing. It's just, it's so important for women to hear all of this advice and your journey and just the authenticity of what you've been through. Because, you know, that's really what I'm about on my blog, is trying to just help others. And I think you helped me just from me talking to you for 10 minutes today and just over the past couple of weeks, because everything you said is just so on point. And I just thank you for coming. And Christy has offered to share her information. So I'll be putting that in an article if others are in need of reaching out. You know, Christy has just graciously agreed to share her contact information. And I thank you for that.
Ooh,
Thank you for
absolutely.
coming on.
I'm so excited. It was great to be on. I loved our chat and loved connecting. I love your blog. It's
Thank
super
you.
fun and helpful and informative. So thanks for having me.
All right. Well, we'll talk soon.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.